of a delay by the look of it. Just ignore the beginning bit. Oh, adverts. Yeah. G'day everyone. I have to put some glasses on here. G'day Michaela, Nancy. No Michaela, no, Dad's not with me today. Don, how you going, Don? Hey Bone. Oh gosh, adverts. First Last, Catfish Miller, Sir Oxalot, Jack, Stephen Pollack. How are we all? Ready for the live spin. Thought I'd do it live, that way it looks all kosher. G'day Carrie. Yeah, I thought, yeah, it'd be better to do it live, that way everyone can see it's all happening. G'day Floyd. How are you, mate? I remember all you guys' names from the comments and that, so it's, yeah, a little bit of a chat time here if you wanted as well. G'day John, yeah, happy Easter everyone. Hope everyone's having a safe weekend, especially on the roads. It's a little bit wet here in Adelaide, so yeah. Yeah, I'm having a great start. We've just got the young fella over throwing up the other night. It was up all night, so I had a bit of an all-nighter. But between me and my partner, we got 5 kids. So 2 eldest are going to be turning 25 within a month of each other, and one of them's today. Happy birthday, Trey. But yeah, no, it's a great start. I'm home, I've got plenty of opal. We're doing a giveaway, reaching milestones here. G'day, Lisa. Welcome to the live. So yeah, we're gonna do the spin. I've got to figure out how to point the camera at my other screen here in a bit. G'day, Jeff. Cheers, Catfish. And yeah, hit the like. Yeah, appreciate that. That's another thing. I keep saying I do everything here myself, and sort of to a point of all the filming and the work, but I do have a great support around me, family, got a bit of a list here, just everyone up in Andamuka and all my experience up there that's helped me even put a lot of this together, especially with the trips up there. All you guys for just sharing the site here, the channel, and bringing in more viewers. And Roy for the shout outs and the support he's given me over it's coming up to 3 years, 2 and a bit years now. He's been great. And yeah, g'day Stephen. So you turned 10 in 8 days. Awesome, Michaela. We'll have to go to Pancake Kitchen again if they'd open. Opal Hunters. Yeah, we're waiting for a new season. I watched it on Discovery Channel, so they're a bit behind the 8 ball. But I sort of slightly keep in touch with what's happening anyway. But yeah, no, back to the support that I've had is absolutely amazing. Again, I'll probably say this all the time in these sort of things, but starting this channel was just shits and giggles. Didn't actually think it was going to take off into something like this, but didn't realise there was that much interest, to be honest. It's one thing to get involved in all this, as you know, but it's another to find the people around you, especially that are interested in opal or jewellery. So yeah, reaching out to all you guys and knowing that there's a whole bunch of people out there totally interested in this is great. It's like, awesome, well, just keep showing you stuff. We are not industry here, we're just having fun as far as the channel side of it's supposed to go. I'm not trying to make sales or promote anything, just showing what's going on with Opal and in my world of Opal anyway, everything I get up to. So yeah, it's been awesome. Cheers first, last. I wish. We're getting there. We'll get there. It's I like all the other channels, the diversity. Speaking of which, Diverse Opals. Congratulations on your 1,000 subscribers. But all the other channels from Black Opal Direct, QPD Opal, Roy, Don Pulitzer. I'm probably blanking right now, but there's quite a bunch. If you check out on my channel and you look up the top, you've got playlists, videos and all that. You got about, channels. And if you click on that, you'll see all the Opal channels and various other ones that I've subscribed to. There's quite a diverse amount there. I'm watching myself on the screen about 5-10 seconds behind. I'm still waving my finger. Yeah, so I want to try and keep this within reach of everyone that's viewing it. We're not sitting here with $1 million in our pocket trying to figure out what we're supposed to do with the Opal we just bought. This is more just, always like to see some really nice Opal, but there's budget conscious here as well. And I think that's what Roy does as well. We're not, total high end or anything, and it's like I don't think anything I've done could be considered high end. Yeah, I've still got to source Don some crystal from Andamuka. I'm trying to find something suitable. I'm not too sure what his budget is. Be another thing. Sorry, I'm just staring at the comments on the screen there. Yeah, absolutely. To which, after this, if anyone wanted to, stick around for a bit, I did have a few bits and pieces to cut. It's not probably showing up too well there. Let's flick a light on, see if that does anything. Pointing at my face. Yeah, some nice bit of crystal here. I can't line it up properly. As you can see, it's translucent, but it's got some nice blues, greens in it. A couple of little bits we'll just tidy up and see what can come of them. It's out of a little recent parcel I bought, but yeah, we'll get on with spinning in a minute. Thought I'd have a bit of a chat with you. And yeah, wow, 154 entries. Yeah, A-Bone. Trying to keep it not out of the reach of everyone watching it, like it's, that's how they do it in the high-end world, and that's, nothing I get to touch. You don't want to get that feeling because you feel a bit discluded. Everything I do here, I'm not trying to say, everyone can do it. It's that easy. But stick with it, practice, get your shapes right, get it to a stage where it can be set, and then just that extra step, even if you just start with silver wrapping, wire wrapping. Don't need to learn how to solder or anything then. You just learn how to weave and plait and, yeah. Yeah, I better not take too long on this live and be all afternoon if I had the choice. Yeah, that's pretty good odds, hey? 1 in 154. Yeah, Don, look, if anyone wants to show me Opal, I'm always up for it. Just send it in an email. I'll put all the links of everything in the description of all the videos. So if anyone wants to send me an email and just shoot the breeze, whatever, I'll try and get back. Yeah, definitely practice makes perfect. And the other thing is, once you learn how to set your own, you'll understand a lot of different cutters have a different way of finishing off the backs. It's up to finding a jeweler that will be fine with the way you finish them and take it on from there. But if you can do that yourself, it's less to worry about. Yeah, right, Lisa. Yeah. No, I wanted to wire wrap because I think there'd be some really cool little patterns you could do in it, but I'd be trying to start at the, you know, professional end, trying to figure out why it didn't look so good in the afterwards. But I'm trying to, yeah, get my designs a bit more intricate when I can get back to doing more of what I want to do. By the way, I did polish this ring back up, and thanks for everyone in the comments. I did get the fire scale out with a bit of extra soaking in the pickle, and then just a light polish. Beautiful. So none of that yucky stuff on the inside of the band that was in there. Not sure if that's coming through too good. Oops, which way do I turn it? Yeah, anyway, so that came out well. Yeah, it is pretty big ring. I even, it'd fall off my thumb. Yeah, he's big fella. I wouldn't mess with him. No, that's Mr. Watkey. He bought a parcel and we cut a stone for him, and he wanted himself a ring, and so we sat down that day and I said, oh look, you know, I've got half an idea in my head, let's try it, and he went with it. And so I know there's a few little issues with some of the solder spots and that, and I know, Jonathan, don't seal it in. So what I should have probably done is drill, someone mentioned drill some holes on the inside of the band. Well, I could have done that from the inside of the setting and just drilled them into the side to just give it some airflow next time, you know. He's quite happy with this, so, you know, it didn't cost him anything other than his silver, his stone, and a bit of my time and his time, and, you know, that's all good. So, lesson learned. Welcome to 101 Silversmith in the Opal Mills. Yeah, honestly, silversmithing is probably the easiest thing to start off with. Don't overthink it, get into it, just apply a bit of heat, the solder flows, you'll figure out how it all happens, and it all just comes down to don't make a mess putting it together, and then you won't have a hard time cleaning it up afterwards, and then it's just get your polishing down. It's no different, except for the soldering, to bringing your stones up to a nice polish. It's, you know, stone, metal, you know, anything really, timber, whatever plastic, whatever you polish, you know, it's all go through the grits, get it up to a high polish. Certain things take, hey, Jonathan, how are you, mate? I was just talking about you. And my little effort to seal in this ring. Probably should have put some holes on the inside of the setting, you're right. Lesson learned. Some people can only tell. Some don't listen, have to find out the hard way, so that's me sometimes. But it's all good. I buy most of my metal from Twin Plaza Metals in Adelaide. I know there's plenty of other places, you shop around, you get a bargain, but I can't be bothered. It's the extra time it takes, the couple of bucks you might save on silver, shopping from one place to the next. It's, you know, just go to one place, doesn't matter if it's Australian Jeweller Supplies, Kodak, I think's a supplier, Palloys. But I go to Twin Plaza Metals and I just get everything. I ring up, I pay for it over the phone, they post it out. It's too easy. So you don't want them sealed in, and as Jonathan explained to me, if I can try and remember and quote him, is because it can actually explode on you, or, you know, blow the silver out, solder out the join, because when you're hitting it with some heat in the enclosed cavity, it's, you know, creating a pressure chamber or a vacuum chamber, depends if it's heating up, cooling down when it's sealed, so it may suck it in, which I doubt. It'll just blow it out because it's on its way up to heat before it cools down again, so the first reaction is to blow it out. So you just got to be careful. Lesson learned. Oh, I got away easy. Probably should have filmed it, that way everyone else could have gone, he's lucky. So yeah, definitely love to catch up, for sure. I'm not sure when you're back this way, but absolutely. I hope I got that explanation right. So, yeah, might as well spin the camera and have a look at some of this stuff instead of staring at me. How do we do this? Around here. There we go. So, all right, here we go. don't get dizzy. Here's our list of everyone and the number I was given to everyone in their comment, with little to no explanation of why there was a number there, and caused a bit of confusion. My apologies. I wasn't sure just how to put everyone on the wheel, as I was going to do what I did last time and just type everyone's name out. And in the end, so I was suggested in the comments that maybe just give everyone a number and it's easier to enter. And so here we are. So 154. A couple of people have been entered involuntarily, as in they didn't enter the right way, but I've seen them on the channel for quite a bit of time, and it's like, no, you should be in it. Don't feel guilty. Except for those who literally voluntarily bowed out, but that's all right. They've won something already in a prior one, so that was all good. But yeah, so quite a few people, and here's the up for grabs. And it's not like there's a specific value to any of this. I couldn't care about value, so we're not even going to put value on it. We're just going to say, well, you know, there's, if we can get a better light on this, a decent little bit of opal here in the rough. I've chucked a few more bits there in. It's a nice little bit of sort of crystal. And with the rest of the practice pieces and whatnot, there'll be some nice little stones that we can get out of it. And I'll show you a bit later when we go to cut some, why you don't pay attention too much to the rough size unless it's really clean material with really great colour. There's going to be a lot of waste with stuff like this, so you can't consider the carats and how much you lost and gained and cut. So you just have fun with that if anyone picks that. Over here, donated by Paul Keating, stone I cut for him. I had a couple of brown spots in it, and it didn't really come up better than he thought it would, but kindly donated it for the giveaway. So that's going in with these. It's just a bit of the what the concrete matrix, rainbow matrix can look like. And I think I chucked a couple more in, one there and something over there, that one there. So there's a few stones in there as well. These are all cut, and if someone is interested in practicing their silversmithing or setting, wire wrapping, that might be something for them. And this one, we'll take it out. There's our little, not sure if I can get the light on that properly, but really stoked with the way that turned out. I tried some different claw settings on it than I usually do. I haven't done that style before, and I'm quite happy with it. I think I got them pointing the right way and spread out rather evenly. Toot my own horn. No. So that's also up for grab. And again, no specific value. I mean, I'm sure you can cut quite some nice stones out of here and get them set, and you could equate the value that way with that. Or look, there's some already set, and there's more than just one stone to compensate. So there's no real value here, no real hierarchy of first, second, or third. What I'm going to do is the first spin. Might as well spin you around, have a quick chat. First spin is whoever gets it. If they're on here, have a choice, pick what you want, and then once that, you know, I'll probably do the second spin if they're not on anyway. We'll figure out 1, 2, 3. But once the first person gets back to me and says, oh, I'll take that, I'll offer the second person that which is left, and then the third person, you get what's left. So we'll do it that way. Yeah, and again, this is, I hate the word giveaway. It's not a competition. It's not something like that. It's, you guys watched enough ads watching all this, and it's generated a couple of bucks. So it's like, here's some of that back. Cheers. So it's kind of like you guys have all pulled in unwittingly for this. So, you know, it's a bit of fun, something different. Gets a bit more interactive, gets me to do a live. There. So I might try and flip this screen over here to the wheel I had set up. There we go. Might just have to hold the camera for this. So I might as well do a spin now. Unplug that. Just took you off life support. Spin this around. So what I got set up here is obviously, one of the random generators. I've got the numbers from everything through to 154. And as we can see, there's 154 entries. So that's doing its thing, just rolling around. I don't know where it's at. It's all random, random, random. Tap to spin. So first person's choice. $68. And if I flip the page here, we have Butjalokia. Hope I pronounced that right. Grab my handy dandy pen, wherever I've hidden it. And number 1 there. So there we go. We'll remove that one. Excuse me for the pronunciation if I got it wrong. And we might as well just get this out of the way, and that way we can go over and do some cutting. So I might as well do the second one now. Drum roll. Number 2. Nicholas Millard. Congratulations. So I'll wait until Bart's gotten back to me and we'll let you know what's available. I'll have to get contacted by email, which is in the description. Remove that one. And we'll get on with this with number 3. Number 32, Gavin Hogg. Congratulations. So Gavin, you'll end up with what's left after the other 2 pick, which will either be some cut stones, gold pendant, or some rough opal to play with. There you go. So yeah. Congratulations, everyone, and thanks everyone for taking part. It's a bit of fun. But we'll all go and cut some stones in a sec. Well, we'll rough them out anyway. Put this back. So again, I better rattle those names off again. We have number 68, Butjalokia. Number 2 was Nicholas Millard at number 2. There you go. And 32 was, for number 3, was 32, Gavin Hogg. Congratulations to all 3, And thanks everyone for taking part. It was 154, so I'm thinking, all right, if you had 2 accounts, you could have entered twice. That's not a problem. Out of 4,000 subscribers, I'm not sure how much these videos get out to everyone. I mean, that was a pretty good turnout, don't get me wrong. But yeah, less numbers, better odds for you guys. We'll probably do another one of these around the 5,000 mark, but I can't wait for 10,000. I'm going to try and line another machine up or 2 for a giveaway. Something to look forward to. I'm sure the ad revenue by then will have covered it. Yeah, I mean, 5K coming soon. It's already gone up to 4.19, sort of 0.19 behind the 8 ball here. G'day, Prospect. How are you, mate? Hope all's well up your way. Righto, that's a good idea. Flip this around. BHUTJOLOKIA. Hope I didn't butcher it too badly. Cheers, Don. Awesome. There's only one person, and I think it went to Brazil, and months later I finally got it sent back, and I tried contacting him saying, oh, the parcel didn't make it your way, is there another way to get it to you? And I just haven't heard from that person. I hope they didn't feel gypped. Cheers, Don. Yeah, I old school, I handwrite everything. I was one of those kids that was naughty in school, so I'm used to doing lines. It's not a problem. Boot. Thank you. Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure Bart Simpson. Boot. It's the Canadian Bart Simpson. Boot Simpson? No, I'm joking. Sorry, Canadians. You're luckier. Okay. That's right. The J can be a Y or an H or something, yeah. It's like my son's name, Jakob, but it's with a J. We call him Jacob. Yeah, no, I mean, there's so many different types of names on here. Some people use their name, some have a pseudonym, alias, something cleverly worded, and I'm not always switched on to what it may mean. And then when it comes to this is global, there's the whole entire world and the names that everyone brings to the table. So I just try not to offend anyone and not butcher the name too badly. Just mention I may get it wrong, so I'm not trying to call them funny names. Okay, Don, I'd pronounce that of one of two ways, Quornstrom or Cornstrom. G'day, Suruji. Yeah, Quornstrom. Righto. I think my first pronunciation was the closer one. Quornstrom. Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah. I had Philly and everything that rhymes with that. Kids are cruel. Kids are vicious, yes. So yeah, I'll quickly flash back around here for a sec and go right. So the choices for boot, first choice, you'll either pick the it's a solid 18 karat gold pendant. I tried to stamp it and I kind of butchered the back a bit, as in I think I thinned it out a little bit, but it's all good. It'll hold together. Might have got a bit thin in that spot where I stamped it a bit hard. Needs a lighter touch. So yeah, either the gold pendant, the cut stones here, and yeah, or the rough. And so I'll wait until I get a email confirming, and then I'll get on to Nicholas. And after that, I'll let Gavin know what he's going to be receiving. So might just get on with heading over to the wheel and start rubbing some of these out. So I'm gonna have to go get the water on. But some of these, like this one, this top here, it's just poking right up like that. And it's got a bit of sand that goes in, but there's enough colour under it to get on an angle to come out this side straight under it somehow. I'm trying to do this one-handed. So that cap will come off there and the stone will lie in under there somewhere. There you go, you sort of get a bit of the idea of the colour that's in this stuff. Gee, it shows up better without the light. Look at that. Check this one out, if it does it. It's nice and bright, a little bit of crystal. Yeah, no, that jar of rough was a prop. That was not mine. I did not own that. If I did, I'd be happy days. Absolutely happy days. So this one came in a bit of rough parcel, bit of potchy parcel, but I did notice it had a bluish streak running, purplish streak running through it. So we're gonna go see what that pops up through the center here. A little skunk stripe of purple blue. So yeah, might spin you back around this way. Take this. I think we've got enough battery to get by. Might just have a quick drink. And go for a walk, don't get dizzy. Set your perch up. Oops, knocking everything down. Set you up like that. Get some light on the subject. I'm just going to go turn some water on. Back again. So I was just trying to purge some of that water out when I was running that pretty fast. Sometimes there's an air bubble in there that air locks in there and then it stops flowing for a bit till that comes out. It drips air for a while. So what we'll do, put that on there. See if we can figure out how to zoom this in, if I can at all. Oh, look at that. So we'll go grab this one up. iPad. That way I can see what you guys are saying. Put that there. Yeah, do it, Roosevelt Dog. I'd be keen to see. Everyone's got something to share. So I'd almost recommend everyone just start a channel and put something that you come across that's interesting up. There we go, look, we got some light. Nice lump. Cut that any which way up you wanted. I reckon we'll get a nice high dome that way though. There's the one with a little skunk stripe. Yeah, first last. Since I had to come a long way, I hope you got the little gift that was in there. Don't throw any packaging away till you check it. There we go, that's the one I was talking about with this lump up here. Pretty sure we should be able to sneak under it. Let's see what we can't get. Better take this off. I've got a bad habit of destroying my stuff and my sleeves. I get the comment, am I homeless? Can't I afford clothing? So, no, I've got decent sleeves on some of my stuff, but I trash my clothes so badly, it's like, well, the rest of it's still good, and I'm just trying to keep warm in the shed, so I whack a jacket on that's got crappy sleeves, and I wasn't paying attention or thought I was on Fashion Police, so I thought, oh well. No, I'm not homeless. So you can see this cap's got a bit of colour in it. It's not super strong, it's a bit milky. It is a sort of a cap, and I don't mean cap like Lightning Ridge cap, I just mean a potchy portion. So I'm just going to wear that down and go, wow, nice bit of colour. I like that little, it's not quite pinfire, it's not broad flash. It's almost just green floral or something, but it's just tiny little patches in amongst each other. Yeah, it's not pinfire though. And I like that sky blue that's going to come out in this. Yeah, wet sleeves while cutting is not fun, get all itchy. So you can see this line in the middle here, we've got to get down past that. Take that lug out there, there's a bit of potch there. And a hole there, so that'll probably be lost. Should probably even slice that off. Might even go out to the saw in a minute and just quickly knock the end off there through there. Save this bit over here for a nice little stone to accent this one maybe. Yeah, the pattern's looking good. The only problem with doing this and gambling on this coming out as a nice size stone is that this line here doesn't have a little fissure or flaw that runs sort of in a bit further past the sandy shape of it, because that can end up leaving a little line through the surface and it wants to fleck out. It's a little slither or something, but we'll see what we get. It's a bit of a different beast to knobbies and boulder and all that sort of stuff, cutting this sort of material, seam. Just trying to figure out where your top and bottoms are definitely going to be able to be, which way it needs to face. So we're kind of lucky with this stuff, it just faces the right way up as it sits. Happy days. Start working the edges and start getting some of these lumps out if we can. Still got a bit to go there. I might just, oh no, I'll leave it for a minute. Hope I'm talking loud enough. Probably should shout a bit better. Now the camera picks up the wheels sound. And I know it's not super quiet, but these wheels are pretty quiet, I tell you. All greased up and yeah. Just watching that line there. See what I mean? How it still comes out through here. So this end up maybe wanting to fleck up and out somewhere. Still get a nice stone if it does. That's coming out. Awesome. I'm just rolling the surface so it goes all like reflective white, so I can see any holes and lines. So that's just that one there we've got to get out. Oops. Just lost a bit of water pressure. I'm just going to go turn the hose up a bit. Yeah, the water pressure on the mains fluctuates throughout the day, so I'll just let it pour out. So yeah, that's where we're up to. Just one little spot now. Yeah, actually, yeah, that won't survive. I won't need to cut all through there, I don't think. Just go like that. We should have enough thickness here to start rolling that out, maybe. See how it goes. Yes, definitely. Andamooka crystal, this. So every time I pause, I'm just over here reading the comments. So try and roll that out. It's just about gone. Got the rest of that piece out too. Awesome. Still got a bit of a coreish opaque from the crystal either side though. An opaque core. We'll see what we can do. Not sure if I'm seeing chaff in there. Might have been, I might have just rubbed through it. Chaff's like the claw marks. Might be a smidge in there somewhere. No. And I think this one's going to have this little stripe through unless it cleans up a bit further in once we start doming it. But the way this corner here is looking, we're not going to do a disservice if we start making it maybe into an oval. Might lose a bit of this corner down here, but then the colour's not as crystally there anyway. So rip the band-aid off, round that out. You can see there that bar's ducked right up the top there. It ducks right down here, almost to the bottom. So if I take this in a bit here to thicken up the bar up the top, I can get a higher dome. Just got to watch this a little bit here too. Just trying to neaten that yucky bottom up a bit. I can deal with that after I cut it, I think. So there you go, it's a nice little green crystal, green blue. They have to be up near the 4 to 5 carat mark at the moment, probably cut down to about 3.5 once polished, as long as nothing goes wrong from here. And I'd say 50 to 100 a carat minimal. So, you know, at least a $200 stone. Woohoo! What did that take? 15 minutes. All right, $800 an hour, yeah? I'm hoping it will cut out or at least brighten up underneath as I take it down a bit, Jeff. That little skunk stripe through the center, if that's what you mean with this one, through here. I'm hoping that disappears a bit more as I bring it down onto that bar a bit. So we've got a bit to play with to take it out. But it's the way the opal's formed and swelled. And it's just done that in that section. We'll see what happens when I cut it. We'll do an update on this. Oh, 12.5 minutes, awesome. Well, that's $1,000 an hour. Shit, better get my oops, excuse my French. Better get a move on. Which one? We'll go for the flat, difficult one. High dome's sort of an easy one. So this is a definite crystal. And take that bit of sand off the back. You can definitely see pretty much, except for the colour, straight through it. Yeah, it's only if I really need to chase a good dollar. And this sort of parcel does owe me some money. So the first few I like to go, you know what, let's make sure I get my money back and then I can do what I want with the rest. Wow. So yeah, I think we're going to odd shape of this one, see how it curves away from the top. I need to bring that into, basically if you look at the bottom and go, all right, so that's the size of the stone in there somewhere. But we can bring it out a bit because as I can roll the bottom and roll the top, we just play ratios here. So I'm going to start by taking off this little edge anyway, because that's just got to go. And we'll see what that thickens up into as an edge for itself if we orientate the stone somewhat. Not there yet. There we go. That's got a bit thicker edge there. So I'll take that top off a bit. Start rolling that edge there, take that to make sure that potch doesn't deceive me into orientating the stone the wrong way if I'm just looking at the top. Looking good. So I might just lose this point to start with. No! Sorry. Yes. It's a minor, really, for what was lost and what it will now become. And again, we'll probably have to lose this bit. Close your eyes. Look at that. Beautiful. That's our edge that we had to cater for. But that's coming into a really nice little crystally. So yeah, a lot of the opal I've been buying, like this stuff, we haven't really got to yet because I've been too busy cutting for other people, which I don't mind. But it's anyone's wondering where all the opal I've been buying's gone, and we haven't seen that cut. So it's coming. And here's the start. And we've got a bit of a, I don't know if you can see that. Just dry the stone out a bit. Line in here, right there. That can be a problem. If that doesn't come out, that can just keep traveling through the stone. And this is, the things like this, you can see all the carat weight to start with, but till you get into the stone and see how the nature of the formation allows you to have a nice clean stone inside, which is where the money is. None of this stuff with little chips and cracks. I would never charge. I usually give them away. I would even struggle to give them away because it's a bit of an embarrassment passing them around with chips and cracks in them. But yeah, hopefully this clears up or this stone's shot. Might be good for a doublet. So yep, no, that cleaned up pretty well. Awesome. There's another one just here though. Right there, on my thumbnail. See if we can roll him out a bit. Yes. I think we're good to go. A little bit broken up on the bottom here, I'm not liking. Oh no. There we go, see? And it's gone. We'll still get something. There's still meat on the bone. But It loses a bit of considerable chunk. It's just on the edge there now. Still nearly. Still a really nice stone. That colour's not disappearing from the top. We're just basically cutting pure colour bar now. Pure. Stuff the Colombians love. No, I'm joking. Pure opal. I think I'll deal with that on a dop stick. It's only a little fraction there. As long as I keep cutting the dome above that, when I tidy the back up, that'll be gone. It's getting a bit small for me to keep playing with like this, but still, we're going to get a really good stone out of it. Might be about carat and a half by the time it's finished. I reckon be at least 100, 150 a carat maybe. So might be getting our 200 average still roughly. So yeah, after you've seen that, looking at this, yay, high dome, should be able to get out of that. Yeah, let's see what this bit here does. As you can see, looks a bit nasty, like it wants to come out. But we'll just go around and start tightening the sand up and these bits up and see what's left. Try and keep this up that way in mind. Might start with this bit. Yeah, as you can see, not looking healthy. Yeah, piece just flicked at me. Still get something nice out of it. Just got to get rid of that. It's going pretty deep though. What might be in order, instead of shrinking this side down any further, is just take this bit off. And it's got a bit of sand through the bottom there anyway, so top and bottoms, yeah. That can roll out. Like that. It's gone from there. So now we can work on the rest of it. It's being tricky. So we're going to get a high dome. It's going to look amazing. Get a bit of light on this. Very nice. Nice clean little lump, flat bottom. Beautiful. Very high dome. The proportions in this is ridiculous. The dome. So with stone proportions, I did read somewhere that they used to teach it that the thickness should not exceed 2/3 of the width. So if you had, say, a 9mm stone, 6mm is the maximum height on a 9mm wide stone. So yeah, this is kind of like 6x6, I don't know. Maybe we'll get into proportions, correct proportions. If not, it's just going to be extra high dome classification. Yeah, I want some Contraloos. That stuff's awesome. We get some over here from Tintinbar or somewhere on the New South Wales coast. Right, so this is just a piece that I've noticed in a parcel, whether it turns to anything or not. It's just a nice little skunk stripe. And while there's colour, it's either that or keep that and maybe inlay some stuff around it. It'd be a nice stone either way. And just face it quickly. See how clean it's going to become. It's got a bit of stuff down here. It's all right. It's out of the way. That can be polished straight over. It's part of the opal. There's a bit of sand that could come out, but yeah, that doesn't cause any effect on the surface as such, like a line or anything, or two different, it's actual opal still, it's just a white mark. And since a stone like this is a stone like this, I don't think it's even going to matter if it stayed. I want to focus on this anyway. So as I'm pushing into the wheel, I'm sort of rolling it forward too, so you can sort of see the rollover I'm getting. So if I was to do it from this side, as I go in, you sort of push pretty hard and then just roll it almost round to the flat. You start getting a bit of a dome edge rather than a flat face. Yeah, it's got a bit of a purple through it anyway. Can't be totally worthless. Might just be a $20 stone, but still, it's a tank of fuel for the generator. Fun stone. Pendant or something. Bit of silver around it, maybe $50. So, sorry I've been tuned out a bit here. Get these out. Awesome. There we go. So the main thing was just getting into the stage where I can put them on a dop stick, deal with the top, knowing that there's enough of the top to deal with. So then I want to put it back over this way. I've got the top sorted and I can just deal with the bottom. And voila, she's finished. Drawing a template on also really helps if you want to get your shapes right. So as you can see, I've gone around and I've sort of kept it sort of at a 90 degree to do the edge. So you want your nice flat sides when you get your final shape. And that way you can pick a spot above and below it, leaving a fraction in the middle that you do not touch, and you make sure it's a very straight line around it. Everything above gets domed to the center, everything below it gets finished for a setting. And if you keep that flat side, once you've got your actual shape set properly, keep that flat side and you'll never lose that shape. Sometimes people can dome down one side a bit too far and then it sort of becomes a bit odd shaped and they're not sure why it's happening on them. I might just quickly go turn this water off. Grab these. Oh, someone's having fun. So that's back up here. There we go. I'll have to go back through this and check out the chat. We don't have mods here. We don't need it, you're too well behaved. If anyone kicks up a stink, just send me a notification. I'll figure it out, but I don't think we've really had a problem. I don't pay attention to things like that. That's so cool, you guys are just having a chat, that's awesome. Yeah, it's not so much finishing what Mother Nature starts as just making it aesthetically appealing to human eyes. Again, we take for granted sight, without which this just wouldn't even matter at all, unless you're into the healing properties of opal. Yeah. Yeah, no, they've maybe COVID got them all. Better not get too dark. Humour. Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could still shop with them. You know. Just put a fake name on the invoice. No, I'll get by. They're all good. They're top people there that work there. Blood that moves. No, glad everyone could make it. I've taken up your time on an Easter Saturday. Geez, it's coming up to just over an hour and a bit, quarter. I didn't pay attention to things like dates when I go, oh, I'll just do it next Saturday. And I'm like, all right, it's going to be Easter Saturday. Oh, well, maybe everyone's not doing too much. Yeah, no, never rush it. This stuff's taken so long to get where it is. There's no point being in too much of a hurry to finish her off. I used to be that way. You start on one and it's like, right, I've got to make sure I've got enough time that when I start this, I'm going to get it finished because I can't just put it down halfway through. I can't do it. But after a while, you sort of go, all right, I'll knock a few of these out because, you know, you build up, and then it becomes more and more than your just ones or twos stones that you can take your time with. Illinois, oh, welcome, Lauren. Awesome. What time would be there? Be early morning or something there? No, be afternoon. 13 hours. Something about 13 hours is all I remember difference. 12 to 13, depending on what daylight saving's doing in Australia. Yeah. No, I'm got to actually do some more lives coming up. There's something I want to address because it's not unique to you guys when it comes to, how can I put this? The confusion around what's my opal worth? And how do you figure that price out? And who the heck's in charge of it anyway? And why don't I know the price of my opal? I mean, if it was a diamond or any other gemstone, I'd be like, oh, well, here's the carat, and it's this price because of its clarity, because of its this, that, and the other, and its cut is really superb compared to most other cuts. It was cut by such and such. You know, all these factors that mattered. I need to round up what I know to kind of help it make sense. As they say, if you can't explain it to someone else, or if you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it that well yourself. So to me, I don't think I even understand it that well myself, because that's actually how confusing it is to try and figure out a price on this. There's the minimal price of, you just got to think, well, how much of the stuff's available? Who wants it? And what are they kind of paying for it without overpaying and going, oh, what's the market doing? Everyone's at auction, overbidding, thinking they're onto a bargain. Sometimes they think, oh, if this guy's bidding, oh, it must be good, and stuff like that. It's a bit not deceptive, it's deceiving to yourself. It's not quite the word either. Misinformation for yourself if you think that way. It doesn't mean anything. The opal is what it is, it's worth what it's worth, but then, and we're talking rough here, mostly, trying to figure out, which will stem from what's the cut stone's worth. So if I know what the cut stone's worth, if I can see I can get one of those cut stones out of that parcel, then I should be paying roughly whatever you think for that parcel. You'll get a better idea of what you're going to pay without overpaying. It's pretty hard when it gets to the lower grade to medium sort of stuff. Well, no, low grade. You're barely making your money back. It is really designed by nature for beginner stuff. Everyone needs to learn how to cut. There's going to be a lot of material wasted for people to just practice, get it right, give up, take it up again, get it right. Whatever happens, it's just you need that material to get the hang of it. It's one thing to be able to cut a cabochon, get the opal in perfect shape, but you also got to be able to read the material, make sure it's facing the right way, it's turned the right way. If it's an oval, you want it as long ways, so that when you turn it, it's the long ways that faces the best face. So however the rough looks, you face it nicely at you and then go, right, that's the way up, I've got to orientate it. Even if that shrinks down the stone, it's no point cutting a bigger stone if when you hold it up that way, you need to tilt your head to see it right. And these things are things that matter apparently for the pricing. So I want to address that, and that's why I stick to minimal pricing with my opal. I may look like I'm lowballing, or it sounds very cheap what I'm pricing at, but more from a wholesale, my comfortable, I know what I paid, I know what I would minimally take. That's where I stick to with pricing at the moment. Anything I'm not sure on, I'd go get evaluated, but even that's not giving me any idea. I've just since found out. It's kind of based on something, but if you're getting an insurance evaluation, it seems to me that that's mostly based on what was paid for that which is being insured to start with, not actually valuing it, just based on what was paid for it. Where the value lies in that, who knows? But then if it's worth heaps, you get a valuer to value it. Now that's where money comes into it, and but there's a bit peeved that it's going to cost me a fair bit to get this stuff. You got to spend money to make money type logic. I'm like, it shouldn't be that hard. There at least should be some sort of guideline, like with cars. There's a market value, then there's above market value for the rarities and stuff, and we need to know. Well, I don't care how much you want to fight over the rarities of the Harlequin red on black, red and blue on black, or whatever. I just want to know on this standard stuff, the stuff that's between 50 to 500 a carat. Give us an idea on how we're all supposed to go around and price this. So that's what I'm going to be doing a lot of research over the next week or two, reaching out as far as I can and just try and come back with something that makes sense, that's half reliable, mostly because of today. It could change tomorrow, prices of dollars, things that affect prices, But if you go in and you buy an opal and it's 500 a carat, it's 10 carat stone, that's $5,000 out your pocket. You need to at least know, well, why is it 500 a carat though? I get that it's been valued that, and I can trust that, the people that say it is what it is, and of course insurance will pay out based upon, but that's all another game altogether. What's its actual price though? What should I be paying for it? And why is it 500 as opposed to this one over here? It looks very similar. That isn't 500. And is there a difference? And what's the difference? And if they can't explain that, how'd they come up with the price? That's one thing I'm going to be doing. It's hard when people value their own material. Be careful. You're just drinking from the same trough. So I mean, yeah, I'd love to put top dollars on mine on what I think I could get and create my own market that people will just pay that, because sometimes people have got the money and want what they want, and that's the game of opal in the higher end, I suppose. And some people play that game because that's the game. I've got something really nice. You like pretty things, part with big money. I'm not there yet, at least not confidently there yet, to say, yeah, you know, I've got the goods. I've got really nice stuff for what I've got, but we're not talking thousands per carat yet. So if I can't figure it out at this level, what am I buying and why am I buying it? And that's where it comes down to me when I buy my parcels. I need to at least run through my head what I do know, and only based on that can I buy a parcel. If there's more in it and people with a smarter brain than mine should have been able to see it and I don't see it, but the miner goes, well, you should have been able to see that, so no, I'm not bringing the price down, then it's my loss. I'll probably miss out on a great bargain because I didn't want to pay what they're asking because I didn't see that value because I didn't know enough. And then it comes down to, well, how much is enough? How much do I need to know? You know, you got your colours, okay, we get it, blue to red. You get your patterns, all right, pinfire to harlequin. All right, let's get the spectrum happening and so we can at least go, even if I don't whack a price on it, this is worth more than that, is worth more than that, it's worth more than that kind of graph. Regardless of what the price should be, there should be at least something to correlate it to. Yeah, bulk buyers are kind of ruthless, and that's not an insult. That's what you got to be a bulk buyer. You've got to get, when you're looking at the profit margin that's going to be in on it, you can't just buy, sell. Sometimes something has to change for it to increase in value, whether that's being from the rough, it needs to be cut. From the cut, it needs to be set. From the set, it needs to, you know, have a decent retail setting. There's all the factors involved in some side of it. And that's where the high-end market, you've got to consider, well, is mine enough to go rent a store and hire people to run the store, pay the bills? Do I have enough opal that's worth that much to do that? Because then, you know, you're looking at industry and you've somewhat made it if you can afford that. If not, you sort of go, well, you're me. We've just got what we've got and we try and do what we can do. I've got an online store. I don't promote it much because I hadn't had much listed. But my son, I've been getting to jump in on the family business somewhat and start doing the internet side of listing. So the opalmills.com.au, yeah. There's a few stones and that in there. I haven't got any rough. I'm a bit skeptical on putting rough out at the moment because it's a bit all over the place with people's expectations and what people have been paying and not happy with. And I'm not really a rough seller. I like to buy my rough. Sometimes if I sight stuff and I'm thinking, okay, someone might like that, I'll put it out there, and that's up to them if they want to take it. It's not mine to sell as such. I don't have stuff I've bought, and then of course you're going to pay more than I paid for it because I can't just go and source it, lock up my money, bring it back. You know, there's that whole thing of it. So I'd suggest things like the Opal Shop Australia, Nobby Bob there, Absolute Opals, Justin Thomas from Black Opal Direct, he's got parcels, sometimes beginners. There's quite a bit of, you can safely buy with those people and go, right, I may not have made $1 million, but I didn't get bitten. You know, it's more straight up. And then it comes down to, well, if you want to play the game, then you're going to have to start coming out to the field if you want field prices. Because that's where I get a lot of what I get. And I don't rattle off the price of what I do if I can help it, because they're not reasonable for what your expectations are going to be. Oh, well, this guy's paying that. Why? It's like, well, spend enough time there, get around, get to know people, and you get to hear what's there, and you're in the right spot, right time with the right money. That's how it happens. I don't just rock up there like a shopping centre and go, right, everybody rock up and show me your wares. It doesn't work that way. You just got to feel your way around. And the buyers, are doing best, I suppose they can, whilst trying to remain in business by putting and making sure there's enough out there for everyone. If I started taking on and saying, all right, let me know if you want a parcel, I'll put one together, I'd run out very quickly of anything I've got. I wouldn't even have anything for myself, and I wouldn't even be able to source it quick enough because it's a pretty insatiable market. So that's why I just put a bit out here and there as I come across it. I'm not really hunting for it, it's as I come across it. I've lost track dribbling now. Yeah, and that's another thing. Always buy with the option of a return. Even if it is the $15, $20 return post, you're better off losing that on a, you know, even a $200 parcel by not touching it, sending it back and saying, I want my money back. You can take a $20 hit, or you can take a $200 hit by cutting it, you know, and your time. Or you can cut your losses and move on and go, right, won't make that mistake again. That's just the way it works, unless you can sight the opal personally and get the better idea of what you're looking at. It's going to be very hard from your end. Yeah, 53 Frogs, Opal Auctions Australia and that, yeah, they're brilliant. It does no reserve. You guys basically get to decide the price by whoever says, I'll pay that for that, and I'll pay the most. Okay, Steve? But yeah, there's fixed price, and then yeah, obviously auction. Fixed price, you're relying on the person selling it to be somewhat of an expert in not only knowing what's in the material, but your capabilities as the someone who just happened to end up buying it, had no idea who you were, what your skill set is, and what you're on, you know, going to be able to do with this parcel. But sometimes is the parcel for inlay? Is it for doublets? Is there cuttable solid stones? Is it a practice parcel? Is it a gamble parcel? Is it a top end parcel? Is it been rubbed already? Minimal wastage from there. And that's where the carats more matter on a rub parcel, because you go, all right, if I got 100 carats of rubs and 100 carats of rough, I could end up with only 20 carat cut stone out of 100 carat of rough. But if I had 100 carat of rubs, then you're going to lose maybe 20%. So you end up with 80 carats, 70 to 80 carats of cut stones. So paying attention to what you're buying, what's in the parcel, and how much, I call it stocking stuffer, the kind of stuff you stick in your kid's stocking just to fill it up a bit. Might be a big pack of chips that's full of air. And the stocking stuffers are in the parcel to add the weight up. The smaller stuff has the brighter stones. The bigger stuff is there to make the parcel look big, and it's probably potch. But then most of those are probably beginner type parcels, and they need to be viewed at that, whether you see the advertisement putting it that way or not. If you can't see with what you know that you can get something reasonable out of it and that the price will be paid, it's one thing to go, oh, what's the average price? Yeah, but who's paying you that price? What can you get? For me, I don't get the top dollar. I don't get to just put whatever I put out there and then all of a sudden it's sold at that price. That's not how it works. Maybe one day when I get more of a unique access to a market of rough and I can play that game because I'm more of an exclusive, you know, you can play that game. Pricing your own opal though and having it valued is a conflict of interest if you're the same person doing it as well. You need to stand to the scrutiny, the classifications, everything is one thing to, you know, have it valued, but if you don't have it valued, you're basically opinionating your price. So my prices are opinionated. I don't get an evaluator to do them. I'm not a valuator. And you got to be careful because the person could be one and the same and very confusing, thinking, oh yeah, that's the price because that's the way they price it because he's a pricer. And you go, hang on, is he doing this in the capacity of a pricer? In which case you don't price your own opal. You don't do it, get someone else to. Or if you price your own opal, you're not doing it as a valuer. You're just doing it as a business person, which is fine. That's the way it's supposed to go. But there's got to be a distinct difference, and You guys need to see the difference between the two to understand why is it this price there and this price there, and it's the same stone. Why is this guy valuing it for insurance purposes up here, but the valuer says it's down here, but the guy that says he's selling it, he's up here in between somewhere? It's business, I suppose, and sometimes the market refers to not everybody all the time. There's only a certain market for Lamborghini and Ferrari and all that sort of thing, so we don't enter that market. There's a separate market. It's not the same market as going and buying my Toyota. So we're on a different market down here. We can watch what happens in the bigger market, but we can't really correlate it and go, oh, look what they've got up there. Oh, mine's pretty damn close. It's only this, but percentage-wise, it should be that. And if it costs too much to get it valuated, how do you get your cheap stones valued? The evaluator, well, the miner gets paid first. The evaluator just gets paid. There's no risk. He evaluates as long as he can keep lining up the work. Anywhere from 1,000 to 20 grand, I've heard. I know that you can get smaller, valuations done. I think the Lightning Ridge Mining Association have a system. I'm not sure if you can post your stones to them and do it that way as well, or it gets slightly expensive. It's the kind of thing that you don't want to just send 1 or 2 stones off. You want to send a whole pile and get it all done in a bulk lot. And then you make sure that whatever it's going to cost you, the stuff you're sending, is going to cover the cost of that valuation and will be sold. So mostly it comes down to, and I'm going to say this, vanity. How much do you like this pretty thing? What are you going to be prepared to pay? You can go try and get something similar somewhere else, but if you want the one I've got, here's the price I've got, and no one's forcing you to pay. And if I don't have a valuation on it, then you can be assured it's just the price I've come up with. But ask me, what's my logic? Why did I come at this price? And I'll be able to explain to a certain extent, which will explain why it's so low, because I don't have the knowledge to say, oh, these reasons make my stone worth even more than I realised. Yes, opal value is not set in stone. Don't be confused with the price you're going to pay for it on the field to the price you'll pay for it here in Australia, to the price you'll pay for it in the US, the UK, Europe. You got to think, there's all the importing of getting the stuff overseas costs money. That's why the price jumps when it goes usually internationally and sits there to be sold. It's different selling here and posting to you because it's already sold. And yeah, well, that's another thing. Not all opal's investment opal. You can't just go and get this stuff and say, oh, it's going to hold its value. I made up a price before based on what I know. I go, all right, in my head, 200 a carat green is this of this, and this isn't that. This is maybe half of that. So I said around about 50 to 100 a carat. That's what I'm comfortable with. Then there's what I've paid for the whole parcel, and I'll be straight up. You haven't seen the parcel, so it's not going to matter. It wasn't a big parcel. It was under an ounce. I paid 1,500, but I'm going to chase some $1,500 back out of it. And then we'll go from there. And if I did well, I did well. If I didn't, my lesson learned. I can't have people pay for my mistakes, if you understand. You don't go to the greengrocer and say, well, I know you stuffed up and you bought the potatoes that were slightly mouldy. Well, I guess we've got to buy them. It's like, no, mate, go stick them. Go get some non-mouldy ones and sell them. You shouldn't have bought them. It's not my problem. I'm not going to pay for them. I'm not going to cover your costs and even get you your money back at cost price. Yeah, price just doubled. All right, half price now. It's the price I offered to start with. Yeah, don't like the price. And again, it just comes down to, can the person explain why the price is what it is? Opal's got mouldy. Yeah, I got a few mouldy ones. So when it's not investment, well, what is it? Well, it comes down to longevity. Some's investment, because it is that unique, the chances in the next 20, 30 years of finding another is very, it's not heard of, to the point that it's going to reduce the value because the market got flooded. So you can be assured your money's tied up in a good stone. But when you're dealing with stuff like this, someone can go dig up a nice little pocket, and all of a sudden there's a bunch more of this stuff out in the market. It's not that unique. Everyone can have it. It comes dime a dozen. And that's what the opal industry sort of needs to watch out for, but doesn't really have to bother about it, because it's not like we're growing better opals somewhere that we've missed and there's dwarfs the industry so far or anything that it's going to water down the market. It's like, no, it's always going to be in high demand as long as vanity exists. Not vanity. I mean, in the jewellery side of the high price. Otherwise, you're looking at this stuff at the price I paid for it. And if I go, $1,500, it would cost me more than that to mine it the way I mine. So that was a bargain. And if this is for me, then yeah, it's $1,500 very well spent. Mostly it is for me. If I part with it, it's only because I'm like, what? There's another parcel available? Oh, I better free up some money. Yeah, and yeah, you got to be careful of finding buyers with opal fever or anyone with opal fever. And that's where you overpay very instantly. I've done that. Got too excited over a parcel, thought I saw something in it, and you make the mistakes of learning. View it dry, view it wet. Don't just view it in a jar wet. There's a magnification thing, especially the smaller the jar gets. Very, very deceptive from the size of the stones in there when you're trying to calculate what yield you'll get. The accurate weight needs to be understood, so that when you look at it and you go, right, if that's the weight of that, by percentage, if I lose this, that, and the other, I can go, right, well, by that proportions, this is what's left, and I can calculate the rough weight of what should be left. Yeah, and again, it depends on the parcel you've bought. How well cleaned up was the parcel? Don't buy too much potch and colour paying attention to the carat price. I mean, and I did it once, I can't remember off the top of my head, but, anything, even the Mona Lisa, can be equated to a carat price. Gold per carat price. If it's $100 a gram, you're looking at $20 a carat for gold. But you don't sell it at $20, in the carat price. But it can be equated that way. Rough opal, you've got to be careful, because it's like, well, when it's more rubbish than cuttable, what does the carat price mean anyway? Except for the fact it should be 5 or 10 cents a carat in a rough. So that little 1-5% of what you cut out of 100 carats, you might get 1 to 5 carats out of $100 parcel, and you want to make at least $20 a carat on it. So that just doubles your money. It sounds like, wow, 5-10 cents a carat to $20 a carat. Well, cleaned up. No, on the whole parcel, that's all you made. It's just the way it goes. Yeah, see, I looked at something once, and it was a jar of very nicely cleaned up bits. They were flattened out. They're all pretty much consistent sort of thing. They'd all flushed edges to get rid of the chips. And it was for inlay or mosaics. And I just wasn't into it. And there's nothing cuttable in it. And so I'm like, that's probably a bargain for what it is. And I probably knocked back a bargain, but it's like, I can't tie money up in something I don't use. But it was probably well worth it for what it was. It was quite a few ounces. It was only a few hundred an ounce, but you had to buy the whole lot. I wasn't doing that much inlay. And now I look at it and go, oh, if I come across something like that and have the money, damn straight I'll buy it again. I'll sit it on the shelf till I do use it, because that was very well processed. I didn't have to clean it up. But if I saw a bunch of potch and colour and I'm like, all right, what can I get out of it? Well, you got to think, okay, what can I get out of it? Incorporates and includes how much time does it take you to get it to the stage. Yeah, spread the love of opal. That's what it's about. And that's what most of this channel's about, is you realise I don't really try to carry on too much about prices. Every now and then I get roped into having to mention it for some reason or other, or sometimes it's relevant. But I didn't want to do this channel based on, look at the next $10,000 stone I'm going to cut, or the next $100,000 stone I'm going to cut. Well, where do you go from there? You just hit your peak. Now you're going to have to cut $1 million stone or quieten down. Yeah. No, some people are fortunate enough to just keep peaking. Rainbow Serpent's gorgeous. And I don't think he's going to dry up anytime soon. He's always coming across unique stuff. I love that one with the rolling eye on it. That's absolutely amazing effect to stumble across. And it's just colour with a potch and then colour, but the way it domed with that in the centre and the way it moved, that was, yeah, awesome. And it's just the uniqueness of it. It's like finding a piece of toast that's got the image of Jesus burnt in it or something. Yeah, I'll do a video soon. Yeah, I'll have to. If anyone's got a channel on here and I'm not aware because I'm just too caught up in my own thing to search too far and wide, and I'm not just stumbling across you, send me an email that you've got a channel. I'll check it out and probably subscribe. But yeah, I'm keen to just, if you've got Opal, it's nothing I've seen. I'm keen to look at all Opal, as you guys are probably doing, watching this half the time. It's like, yeah, just like looking at your Opal. I like to watch. So yeah, you're looking at, geez, I'd have to figure out the weight of one of the machines. I know they're only 10 to 15 kilo, not even. Maybe 20 kilo. So it'd only be a couple of cents a carat, to be honest. It's pretty bloody cheap. Yeah, I'm worried about that, starting this channel up, of going through all my good stuff too soon and no one even ending up watching it. You know, it's great for starting the channel out and that, but then you've got nothing to show later and no one's watching your earlier videos. But I've tried to keep, yeah, most of what I do as I come across it, but there's some of the stuff I haven't touched it yet. I'd want to have a really good idea to want to break it down any further than it has been, to break it down any further into something just for the sake of breaking it down into cut stones. I'd want to usually go, well, sometimes someone's like, oh, have you got this kind of stone, this size, that shape? And I'll go, oh, I can cut one from this piece or that piece. And it's great to have the nice big bits of rough there. That's awesome. Cheers. Yeah, the music. I get used to YouTube music. I wish I could use, mate, I'd love Lynyrd Skynyrd and Metallica, Doors, Pink Floyd. Yeah, I'd be playing a lot more different music than what I have the choice from. But I'm appreciative and it's not too bad, some of it. Some people have put some effort into putting some free music out there for us, so it's not too boring sitting there quietly watching a boring scene. Phoenix Opal, awesome. Yeah, find some gold in the paddocks, all right. Over in Victoria, you got a really good chance too, from what I understand. It's not fished out. Bottom end of Victoria, once upon a time, used to be attached with Antarctica before it broke away. I don't know how, it's not like Australia and that, but the bottom part of Victoria was part of the Antarctica. And the richness in that field around Victoria, apparently, the rest of it's down south at the Antarctic, just as rich. Probably a larger lump of ground to plough through too. Yeah. Yeah, I've sort of got a couple of people I keep mentioning to if they've got any of their music from their group or band or anything. Just, you know, I'd use it on my channel just to have something unique even. But no takers yet. Yeah, no, thanks, Nancy. I mean, I as I say, I don't even understand how this has gotten to where it's gotten, except it's got to be the Opal. everyone's interested in opal, so you pick a good subject, the channel will grow. But as I say, I've only just started saying, oh, like and subscribe. Sounds cliche. But yeah, everyone here is chosen to be here. You didn't really need any prompting as such. It's, you don't usually subscribe to a channel you're not that interested in. And so the best part is, you're definitely into this opal stuff. That's for sure. Yeah, I've got doublets and stuff to make soon, so I might even do some more lives over the next couple of weeks. I know I'm doing one that I've got to do about just having a chat about the valuing of opal, but I've got to do a bit of research. And I can't say too much because I don't want people to close down on me and not say anything. So I'm going to reach out to some people that hopefully don't know me and see if I can get some answers on this. Private investigating. Undercover opals, that's the one. But yeah, no, I've got, where is it? Bag here somewhere. It's got a bunch of stuff that needs to be made, flattened out for doublets. That's for someone. I've got Tim, got to make you a doublet. Mark, I'll go rub back some of your stones for you. And a mate's mother-in-law, whose name I can't quite remember off the top of my head right now. I'm going to be making a ring and setting a carnelian. Might have to just cut an opal in that video because it won't be an opal video, it'll just be silversmithing. Yeah, I'll include it somehow. But yeah, no, I've got lots to do. I've got to, first last. Speak of the devil. It's next on my list. I've got the goal to do it. It's getting done. Everything keeps happening, and then of course it's Easter all of a sudden. And, you've got to go spend time doing other stuff other than opal. Oh, jeez, what a life. But yeah, that one's coming. And that's the sister stone to the ring. Yeah, that you ended up buying off me. That was awesome. And yeah, no, heaps of stuff. So more of, here it is. More of this stuff. There's the rest of that parcel. There's a bulk of this sort of stuff I've been buying, similar. So that's to come. And the stuff that I set 5 gold pennants one time, that was a parcel of someone else's. Very similar material, probably a bit more brighter and crystallier. That's still coming. Yeah, we're not going to run out of opal in a hurry. So one thing I'm trying to get done, thanks to the Curiosity Mine channel, is do the whole map underground. So yeah, everyone can get an idea of what it looks like. Once I get that sussed, I think I'm probably just going to go and map a whole bunch of underground Anamuka best I can, just to see what the place looks like. Try not to get into too many situations. Yeah, some more drone footage. We've got a really, cool idea for the next, that probably won't be till May. We'll get some really cool footage. Thanks to Mr. Watke. Yeah, right. Yeah, time's ticking on. I should probably make an appearance inside as well. I think my mum was over here visiting and she's sort of gone to see my auntie for a bit. She's like, taking too long. I'll catch him later. Yeah, right. Open cut. Yeah, no, crystal. If it's opal, it won't treat. It has to be a matrix opal, therefore porous. That way it can absorb. I don't think there's a way of staining the opal as such, so. Yeah, most of all this stuff was crystal. I've still got I think I showed it. I'll show you again. That parcel I bought recently, the $4,000 one I went halves in. There's the water. And some of it didn't treat too well on the first treat, but then, let's see if we can do this. This piece came out really nice. It's probably not going to show too well. Where are the cameras there, Phil? It went really dark, and I've only just brought it down to the bar, so it's got a nice thick bar on it. I'll be able to cut down. So yeah, that got a nice dark shade. So hopefully the rest of it does that, because some really nice oranges and greens in this. Yeah. Mining. So mining's going well. We've expanded slightly, so we've got the best of above ground and below ground now. I've got my claim still. It's out at Tea Tree, and we're also having a scratch around in some other fields, in some other people's claims. Yeah, they don't mind. We sort of work together with, and yeah, hopefully there'll be something exciting by the end of this season to show through one of the mines. Not that I'll be too invasive. Do have to protect identities and all that sort of thing, and don't want the tax man knowing what you're pulling out. No, don't want everyone getting the idea of what's going on. It's I don't think you get too much of the old the Lightning Ridge with the ratting and all that sort of thing going on down Andamooka. It's very well pretty behaved up our way. Yeah, so nonetheless, you just don't want to advertise. Some people are just very private. That's the way it is. They don't like, it's not a peeing contest, and they don't want to enter one at all. They just keep it to themselves, pretty much forever. Maybe write it in a memoir one day and people can hear about it later, but they don't want to be, it's like some people win the lottery. And they're like, no, I don't want to be named on the news, just keep my anonymous, someone from this area. So that's sometimes all you hear. You might hear about the fine, but yeah. Nonetheless, that's what I've got to watch out for, because we're sitting on $1 million, don't you know? Could be though, could be. You don't know what they left behind. We're going through some, that tunnel as you would have seen in the last video, and that's quite extensive. I'm yet to go in a bit further. We'll do that maybe next time. Still waiting for a bit of the ground to dry out a bit more, because it's a bit soggy in the main shaft. Everything else is dry, but yeah, to go further, I've got to cross the main shaft. So hopefully next trip. Done. Yeah, so lots more coming. I'll try and get as much footage as I can. That's the hard part, is sometimes things have happened and I'm like, damn, the camera would have been great having it run right now, but I need to get a don't mind me. No, I need to get a camera. Jesus. A GoPro or something, so I just leave it on. Edit it later. But the amount of stuff you end up seeing, it's half the time I'm like, all right, back up, hit the camera, now walk up to it again just to show you what I've already walked up to and gone, damn, I wasn't recording. So I don't like setting it up or anything. I think I was lucky, having the that snake on the path that time when we were looking at birds. And it's, just happened to have the camera out, but other times it's a mad dash for the camera wherever I've left it. But no, it's been awesome having a great chat, and it's Saturday, and I probably should let you good people get back to your Easter and families and Opal. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he looked a bit past it, didn't he, Don? It was funny, like the one that it came to life, the other one that was living, they were only a few meters away from each other, and the other beardy, he was just sitting at the bottom of a shaft staring up, and I assume he's waiting for crickets and grasshoppers and whatever bugs that just happened to fall down the shaft, and he just pounces on them straight away, gets a good feed. So he's happy living down there. And I was like, righto. He's figured out a good little feed. He's got his own little net catchment area. It just lands in front of him. But yeah, no worries. All right, shut up and I'll keep talking all day otherwise. I'll get on with this, and yeah, congratulations again to Boot, Nicholas and Gavin. So send us an email so I know how to reach out to you, other than I'll drop a message in the comments just to let them know. But yeah. It's all right. Every now and then I hear something shuffling along the side of my shed. So it might be a blue tongue. Oh, it's gone quiet. We're all safe. Yeah. Yeah, you got to watch out for the drop bears around Australia. But yeah. All right, guys. Enjoy your weekend. I'll organise some more videos and do another live, hopefully within a week. Because, yeah, I'll be spending a bit of time in Adelaide at the moment just to get a few things done. And even if I just turn it on, sometimes it might be boring. I'll just keep working and you can watch in the background if you're interested. But every now and then I'll stop the chat. So, yeah, happy Easter all, yeah. Happy holidays to everyone else. And see you next time. Hope you enjoyed. Cheers.